your internal affairs people and the supervisor never bothered to look at it. Now, the interesting thing is they didn't look at the main part of this one, but then why did they look at the main part of this one? So what's the justification for not looking at that section but looking at this section? So Dijkstra looked at it, the sergeant looked at it, right? So and yours, the way you just told me, what's the justification for watching the end of it but not the beginning?
I don't know, but what specifically are you asking about this one for me to look into without having a time machine, right?
All right. The question is, why would they look at the last part of the thing based on what you said? Why would they look at the last part of the thing but not the first part?
And this is the second half of the first.
That's right.
Where they came down and complained. I don't know.
All right. So number 3 is Elizabeth's thing, and of course that was lost. So we would understand that there would be some people not accessing it, right? Once again, Fairclough, he just loads in the system. He doesn't review it, right? Same old people playing around with it.
And this is the one that was not coded correctly, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. So basically, we have the same body-worn people doing stuff. April and Mr. Reed, they knew that this was all lost because they tried to cover it up with the email. They said, "Oh, it was no big deal." Right. Then and now, because we got this.
Well, and I want you to understand that
I know that
in
their
world, right?
I'm not holding them accountable.
No. I'm just saying, like, when they're saying that, hey, this is no big deal, in their perspective, what that means to them is, oh, it's understandable how this occurred, like,
right.
No big deal, right? Not minimizing the importance or value of it to you.
But,
just like when you say to me, like, hey, I found these things, and we're talking the difference between a mistake versus, like, misconduct, right? That doesn't mean that it's not a big deal or whatever. That just means by different definitions, there's a different response, right? Intentions.
Right.
So
the neat thing about these reports is I now also know what the prosecutor was doing. So so then somebody by the name of Andre Navarro, I don't know who they are, right? All of a sudden they access it. The very next day the case was dropped. The very next day, and for some reason there seemed to be a miscommunication. This case was dropped in court. The person was charged and had to spend $5,000 to get a lawyer, of which the lawyer felt bad and gave $1,000 back. So ultimately it was $4,000. Elizabeth's son is the one who paid the $4,000. So the victim shelled out money that they really shouldn't have to do. The family was inconvenienced, and they really shouldn't have been emotionally inconvenienced, right? Then we see Dijkstra accessing this, right? But the thing is that why did Dijkstra review it, but the supervisor never did?
And what's the date on that?
This is the date. You mean date of the?
No, you're saying why did Dijkstra review it? What date are we talking about?
Well, I'll give these to you. So he reviewed it on the 17th, and the supervisor did not review it with him. The other ones, the supervisor reviewed it on the 20th, so they weren't together for the ones they did review, right? So
I guess I'm not understanding. They weren't together?
They weren't in the same room reviewing it at the same time. They reviewed it separately. They may have also been together, we don't know. But the bottom line is, for some reason, they reviewed it on different days.
I'm not understanding how that's germane. I want to understand. I just don't understand. Help me understand, like, why that.
No, we're trying to figure out why certain people reviewed stuff, right? So it doesn't appear that they were together. So if they were together, only one person would access it, right? If they were both sitting in the same room watching something, then only one person would access on this report, right? Instead, each one.
Let me just rephrase. So,
Okay.
in my mind, I know that at that time that Dykstra works here in this building,
Right.
and I know that Sergeant Mulligan works out of our West Precinct. So to me, I understand
Oh, okay.
why
That's-
people would not be together,
No.
but I'm trying to understand from your perspective.
So-
Do you think that they're going to be reviewing this together?
No, what it just simply
Okay.
tells me is that the supervisor never reviewed this piece of the Elizabeth's body worn camera. That's all I'm interested in. The supervisor never reviewed that.
But you're saying he did?
No, he did
But like
not.
3 days later?
No,
No.
no, the other one. So the thing is that I have 5 of these reports, so I can see what they're doing, right? So that particular thing, the supervisor never reviewed it. Right?
And this is her, this is the body
Elizabeth.
cam.
Yeah.
This is a Fairclaw going to the house.
No, that's Elizabeth's son. That's the thing that got lost.
And the one that got lost was him trying to make contact with her at the house. Is that correct?
No, he called her up. By the time he tried to contact her, she was in.
And this is
San
so this is just a
Francisco.
phone report?
Yeah,
Okay, where he's sitting in his car?
yeah.
Okay.
And the person he's talked to is Elizabeth's son. And
You said this is the one where he was trying to change his voice or something, or trying to deceive her?
yeah, and
Okay.
then at the very end, when he realized he was made a fool of, it sounded to me like he was disappointed.
Okay. So that's,
All right.
I'm just writing the notes so I can just keep
That's
track
fine.
of which one.
So
Yep.
the reason I wrote Elizabeth
And that
on
was the
there,
one that was
lost.
lost. Okay, got it.
So I wrote Elizabeth because her name is Elizabeth's son. Okay, non-translated, this is the actual offense, right? So, but once again, Fairclaw, he just loads it in the system. He didn't and then it looks like, he was thinking around with it somehow, right? And then you have the same old people, Amanda, right, playing around with it, right? But so what would be the reason why? Let's see. So then you see Dykstra looking at it, right? You don't see the supervisor. So you know who all these players are, and now I know who the players are. And the bottom line is just.
And what is this one?
That one is this is non-translated, so that's the actual Ray Vaughn tapping on the car.
Okay, so this is the phone video?
No, the car. Oh yeah, okay. the
Right,
phone
I mean,
video,
somebody
yeah,
filmed
yeah,
it from inside?
yeah.
Okay. So this is the one that they provided as their evidence.
Right. Now,
for
just
the
as-
disorderly conduct.
Just as a curiosity, the way you guys are collecting evidence, who controls the volume of that video?
I guess I don't understand.
When you collected it, when he collected that
When
in,
he sends it to evidence.com.
no. How did the video move from June to him? He used his phone and he recorded what they were doing on the table, right? So who controls the volume of that
Let
thing?
me just make sure I get the who's who. So you're saying Officer Fairclaw recorded on his phone.
He put it above the other phone and recorded it.
And when you're saying whose volume,
Who recorded the level of the video was?
I can't. I have no idea. I don't know how to answer that.
June did. June gets to choose what the volume of the phone video that you're choosing to, because of the way I understand you don't want to get bugs, right? But when one officer puts his phone over here, and
You've sent links, or we've sent links to you, and you've uploaded stuff to us. I mean, they're the same thing. I mean, there's one thing to get an idea, but as far as the evidence, that should have been sent to evidence.com.
no, it was definitely sent to evidence.com, but the actual volume is controlled by June. So the person making the complaint gets to choose the volume, because they can turn the volume up, they can turn the volume down. So and not only that, but I also believe that they edited the video and cut it down because Angela said that June said, "Wow, wow, wow," right? And in the video, only the last "wow" was there. So the way you guys are collecting video, I could find that if I actually had the file, I could find all sorts of stuff. But because the way you did it, I can't find anything. So I don't really agree with the way you're collecting evidence. Not very good, but that's, if you want to do it that way, go ahead. So that the house.
You know I'm not collecting evidence, right?
No, you're not.
You're saying us.
I'm just saying I don't really think you're doing that, for at least that part, I don't think you're doing a very good job. There's all sorts of stuff I could have done to prove that they edited it.
And honestly, sir, I wish we had a better case for you to get a idea of what we do here at the PD.
All right. So, and I know that you're doing it. For most cases, you're doing a good job. But this one, I don't think you hit the mark. So the last one is the house, right? When it came into the house.
Right. Okay. So this is the one I'm familiar with.
Well, so once again, he just loads it in the system. He's not like reviewing it and stuff like that. He just loads it in the system, right? Amanda, the body worn camera people playing around with it. Then Dijkstra is looking at it, and you'll notice that he's looking at it on the 17th, and the sergeant looks at it on the 20th. So there's the inconsistency in everybody reviewing all this stuff. Significant things not reviewed, and different people looking at it.
Isn't that consistent with the dates on this one?
They did the whole thing on one particular day. So they looked at everything on one day. And they only looked at it once. Right, so we're going to change things up. So let's go find this. That seems to be it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the 17th is a pretty consistent date for Lieutenant Dijkstra.
It's the exact same date. They only did it once. Okay, so just so that you understand that the reason that this was thrown out isn't that they could refile it. It's because the prosecutor or the person was all done with the case, right? No reasonable likelihood of conviction. Unless something new showed up, this was all done.
Okay.
Right, and this is under oath. The prosecutor is all done with this. So it's not going to be redone. There's nothing, unless somehow Jimmy and June came up with some new, really cool evidence. It wasn't coming back. And that's under oath. Let's see. Where is the?
And I'm trying to understand as far as for me, right? So this is a different entity, but for me, the relevance of this one
is that you were telling me things that were not factual. See, here's the second one. So where's the first one? Right there. It should be very close. So much paper. All right, I'll just look at everything. All right, so, and the reason that some of this is, no, that's not it. It's very short. Okay, we'll put that there. Dun, 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 dun. Soon I'll find it.